Yeah, thank you.
Somebody lost. Hello?
It's not in.
Yeah, I think you got it right now.
Which one is that for?
Which page is that? We were here, we were driving. Looked, like a scene from Star Wars. Looking after you. Some very important people. No, we're upstairs waiting on the top floor. Right, okay. He says they're here.
They're here.
Yeah, they're here.
Just for a point of reference, there's one of three systems in stages.
Yes.
There's just a braking system or clamp system that happens when they are preparing to work or working. Because even while they're working, they will move in certain wind conditions. And then there is an interim pin down situation where if we normally when we are not going to work them, we should by procedure pin them down. That's our internal procedure.
Doc, one of the challenges of a country like the Bahamas, and particularly as we're an island nation, but it must have been a horrific experience for those who died, and much more so for those who lived, because they will always remember what took place, and it really makes us even more interested in ensuring that Grand Bahama, which is a mix of industry and tourism, that we are on top of our game as a country in ensuring that our infrastructure, our hospitals that exist, are capable of let me put it this way, it's prepared to deal with events of the kind that we have experienced. We are being told here by the officials at the container port that they had no notice that this came off the sea. Within seconds it was finished, leaving other devastation on the path it took, including the loss of life. We've heard that this could have been detected by our Met Office, and if everything worked efficiently, the information could have been transferred. These are matters that we have to determine as a fact, and I'm not going to speculate at this stage because it's very important that we learn all of the lessons that should be learned from this exercise, because people's lives are at stake when they're working in enterprises of this kind, as we now see. I mean, we have to ensure as a country that as we make the decision to approve investments of this kind, the decisions are also being made to ensure that the workforce is working in a very safe environment, and to the extent that it is possible, all of the indicators are in place to protect the workforce, like early warning messages. And so, truly, we have to wait and see. But right now, we reach out to the families who have experienced the loss of their loved ones. We and the entire country is absolutely sympathetic and provide condolences to them. And to those who have been injured, the company has assured us that it will do everything within its means and resources to ensure that they have the best medical treatment. And so that is what we have to do at this stage, and to ensure that the workforce itself would be able to come back at this enterprise and be able to work knowing that they are going to be protected and that we all are interested in ensuring that they have a safe working environment. And that's what it's all about.
My final question, the Met Office. There is some confusion as to whether it's open or closed. Hutchinson is responsible for the container port and the Met Office. The government has said since February it should have been open, but nobody is in there.
Well, it is unacceptable for the government not to know. We've been advised that the government was given a lot of notice of the intention to close the facility. Whether it ought to have been closed without having the other one opened. In other words, the transition from closing to opening ought to have been seamless. And it doesn't arise to us that you could actually close the place and then months and months later say, well, I don't know and I didn't know. This is not a position, I don't know. People's lives are at stake. And so clearly there has been some grievous errors. And for us to have those errors accounted for by the government, and I doubtless the government, after it has done its full investigation, as it should, will in fact be able to speak to this. Now you would remember our Member of Parliament for West End, Obi Wilskin, actually apprehended that something could go wrong if they closed the office, the Met Office. And he actually said in a statement that we ought not to do that lest we have this kind of difficulty, as fate would have it. Okay? He spoke to it and it happened. And again, if he was able to apprehend that this ought not to have happened, then clearly the government ought to have taken steps to avoid this. And so for me, it's needless to speculate any further. It's for us now to have a full explanation as to what went wrong and who was at fault, and how do we go about correcting this, fault so that it never happens again.
Thank you much, sir.